Hello, I'm Rosie, otherwise known as Budlia on all socials, and I finished a sketchbook and I'm really excited about it. So this is the Stylogy 186 page notebook. Not a sketchbook because I just found it more comfortable to, I don't know, just low pressure to draw in a notebook. It's actually got really good lack of bleed for a notebook. I was quite pleasantly surprised by it. And these are some little charms that I attach to the side. I love that you can get a little cover for it. This is the Midori sketchbook cover, but it fits the Stylogy, so yeah. Tabatai sticker. This is a Tamagotchi sticker from a blind box. Coffee Cur? I don't know how you pronounce that. Just trash off AliExpress, do apologise. And then 6 Dimension, I love their clothes, they're one of my favourite brands ever. And then here we've got the Tamago princess, the egg princess, from one of the short animations that you can view in the Studio Ghibli Museum, which is one that I got to see, so I got some little merch because I thought she was really cute. And then I actually don't know where this is from, I think my friend got me it. So yeah, so this is going to be a bit different, I think, than the normal sketchbook tour, just because I think I've changed so much. Normally when I watch a sketchbook tour, that person is already, really good, and they're really established in what they're doing. They're not, particularly working towards finding themselves at the start of their journey, if that makes sense. Whereas I think you'll see in this sketchbook that I am really different from the start than I am later, so this is very much a trust the process. It doesn't look good for about a third of it, and then I feel you start to see me finding myself, finding my style and stuff. So if you could find that inspiring or helpful or anything, then this might be good. If you just want to see someone slay from front to back, which is so valid, then go elsewhere because this ain't the place. But yeah, I can give some tips and tricks on how I improved as well as we go through it. And basically, yeah, I'll dive in, and then I think the thoughts will come to me as I go through because it'll remind me of where I was in that time of my life. But yeah, disclaimer, because the start is so different from the end. I mean, you might watch it and be like, no, it's not, but in my opinion, it is. Okay, so this is from the 21st of May to the 8th of September, so about 3 months and 2 weeks. Although I did have it for a little bit before I started it, so it did take just about 3 months. So yeah, very exciting. I literally completely forgot this page existed, and I opened my sketchbook yesterday from the start to think about doing this video, and I was like, oh, I guess I just tested pens. But I think it's always a good exercise to leave the first page blank of anything good, just because there's so much pressure to do really well, I think, on the first page. So just fob that page off. Okay, so this is one of my friends. Oh, this is so bad. This is one of my friends around to watch a film, and we watched Ghost World. I absolutely love Ghost World. But as soon as I started drawing the sketchbook, I was just oh my god, I'm just doing the exact same thing that I've always done. So basically, I barely drew anything for 4 years until now. I've drawn sporadically, but it's all been just never what I want it to be, and it's just been really upsetting and distressing to me. Because I was taught to draw by looking at values of darkness and shade and breaking them up into shapes. Obviously my drawings fell off so bad as well because I have a fine art background, so it's really hard for me to draw illustratively. So this is something that I really needed to work on, and straight away I was just for Christ's sake. And by the way, I'll stop using it as a journal as well, because I get better at kind of expressing those feelings through drawing rather than needing to rely on words. Okay, oh my god. This is me self-roast sketchbook tour. Let me turn the little princess the right way up. Hello, queen. But yeah, obviously trying to draw swans, but what is the colour scheme? I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't know what's going on. This is when somebody that I'm friends with sent me some Tokyo bananas, which I really liked, and these are some gacha that I got from Japan last year, which I do like. This is me tweaking about an endoscopy that I never ended up having. This was charcoal. By the way, you can literally choose hairspray. You don't need to buy a fixative. This was, yeah, done with hairspray. Literally no problems. But yeah, did enjoy doing this page, actually. It's one of the first ones that I enjoyed. And yeah, I didn't have to have the endoscopy because I got there and the guy was like, I don't think you need one. And I was like, okay, here is where I started tweaking, and I was like, I really need to get better, because I was like, how do I draw people's faces but then keep my style? Because that's not something I've ever been taught. Really, I've only been taught to represent them how they look by doing life drawing and stuff. So I did this really good challenge off YouTube. I'll link it because I can't remember off the top of my head what it was now, where you basically look at him for a few minutes, then try and draw him from memory. It obviously made some really funny results. This is left-handed. And I really enjoyed that exercise. It made me feel a lot better about things. That's just me complaining about my job. Okay, fish spread. Enjoyed that. That was a good time. And this made me really want to go back. I live near like a really cool aquarium, and I was like, oh, I want to go back to the aquarium. I want to draw, and I do that. I got a drawing date later in the sketchbook. So I'll show you that soon. Oh my god, this is like, I saw this artist who draws with oil pastels by going around like in circles, and I thought it was so cool. So I tried to do it myself. To varying results. Like, it's not the worst, it's not the best. I just don't really have a style at this point. Like, I'm just kind of experimenting, but do you know what, that's literally what a sketchbook is for. And like at this point I was just so happy that I was using it, that like I couldn't even like feel critical. I was just like, yeah, like it's just about making. Okay, here is when I start to look in. So these are the dog. I don't know if you've ever seen the dog, but it's like a Japanese like what's it called, like a brand, and they used to do like dog magazines, and I used to collect these little dogs with like the like £5 a week pocket money I had, and the local shop used to order in my dog magazine for me. Yes, I am diagnosed with autism, so but yeah, okay, so you can see here I want to try to transition from my fine art sensibilities and practice really illustrating. It's so hard when you train the wrong way. So I wrote down different types of exercises I wanted to do, where it's like create a new character using shapes, then draw it in 5 different settings, then use a prompt and do 5 thumbnail concepts and make one into a full piece, make a 3-panel comic about your day, draw simple objects and turn them into characters, and then use limited palettes. So this is something that I was like, if I try and incorporate this, then hopefully it'll set me on the right path. Like, I need to start from scratch and do these kind of exercises. Also, there's a really good hand cream that I got from Japan. I miss you so much. I miss you. Okay. Immediately, I feel like the quality changes. It's not perfect. There's so much wrong with it. What is this? I tried to draw like a, what's the thing that goes like wah 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 wah? Hyrax. I tried to draw Hyrax and I had to cover it and it was really bad, and you can see a little bit of it there. I'm still really struggling at this point as well with what eyes to choose when I draw, which is funny because these eyes that I did here when I'm like, oh, I don't know how to pick the eyes, are generally the eyes that I do anyway now, like after months and months. So yeah, it wasn't that hard to choose actually, it turns out. But yeah, so I've got the limited colour scheme, I've made the character out of the shapes, and I've tried to draw the character multiple times. I don't think I did a very successful job at keeping the same vibe with the character, because I did these first and I drew this one and I was like, okay, that's better. But like with clothes on a character as well, this is really random, but I have like a I do have a vintage addiction, but I have like a Pinterest board that's just like fits that I really want to wear and wish I could have, but they're like always by some like esoteric brand that's like not available anymore. So like I like to draw them onto my characters because it like gives me like the satisfaction of like earning those items, even though I will never earn those items. Okay. I love this one. I literally love this. This is the first time where I was like, oh my god, like I can actually do the things that I want to do. I got really into like fantasy art, like girls with swords, like drawing, like doing armor, like looking at like folklore stuff and things like that. And this felt like it was like actually a representation of my interests. The reference for this is really funny. It's me in my dressing gown, looking absolutely foul, holding a sweeping brush. So yeah, sorry for clapping. I've got a microphone and I have no idea what the quality is going to sound like, but yeah, I'm not going to edit this, so enjoy. But yeah, I loved this little eye and the mouth. I feel like they turned out really well the first time, which is quite difficult. And to be honest, I kind of wish that I'd replicated this little area again. Obviously, this the proportions are a bit strange. Like, she's got some really long, gangly arms and then a humpback and whatnot. But like, you know, it's good. Like, I like the sword. Like, I'm happy with it. It's cute. It's a limited palette, and that was helping a lot. Yeah. And then the same day, I drew these with pencil. The funny thing is that this character, and this character, they're all supposed to be the same character. So you can see that I've not got any sense of consistency here, because all they've got in common is the Hime haircut. But I still do really like this page, and obviously I wrote here, I'm really proud of my progress today, because I was, and it's nice to big yourself up. Even if you look back and you're like, Jesus. Okay, then I was like, I want to draw a butterfly. That's me complaining about how bad my job was. Now I'm unemployed. But yeah, here's me looking at some different artists and like their style of doing butterflies. And then I think along here, these are all my attempts at doing butterflies and trying to put like my own style on it. This was my first attempt, and then I was like, girl, you've literally just drawn a butterfly. There's nothing stylistic about it. It's something that I really struggle with, is not defaulting to like something more realistic. Obviously, it is still like cartoony, but like, it's not like stylized, and that was something that I was really struggling with. I love Helcabel, I love Hannah Michelle Bailey. I actually like fangirled really hard because she followed me back on Instagram recently, and I was like, so yeah, that was good vibes for me. Oh yeah, I've written myself down some prompts in my phone and then did some of them, but that didn't really last. I didn't like this at all. I tried to do the 3 panels of my day. Obviously it's a complete mess because my line art was a complete mess. This is me eating katsu curry with a curry sweat, and these are some little, I can't remember the names of these little things. What are they called? I'm gonna have to edit this out, because it's gonna get really annoying if it's just me sat here going, what are they called over and over. Them little creatures that people put on the top of their phone as like phone toppers. And then it's my boyfriend playing Stardew Valley when he got addicted to it. And here are some hot dogs, because the prompt was hot dogs. But right, so I have this really bad thing of drawing specifically in this one pen and not doing any variation at all, and I just don't think it's very legible, and I did it all through my last sketchbook that was like really sparse and not done very well over a long period of time. So I was like, do you know what, this pen doesn't work for me. As well, I used to have this thing where I was like, oh, storage low. Okay, sorry, I just made some storage space on my phone to record a bit more. Okay, so yeah, wasn't a fan of this, but it is what it is. I was doing my bits, I was slaying. Okay, so this is with ink, and I just had a lot of fun drawing pigeons because I love pigeons. I really like these two down here. I feel like they're really nice shapes. Again, I'm not really stepping towards the style that I want to see, but I'm just experimenting, and that's absolutely fine. Some more experimentations. These are like Kiss a 10 style desserts and stuff. And then here, I test out 1,000,001 types of eye, and at this point I've got this like growing Pinterest folder of all these really cool like girls in like fantasy clothing, and just like old pictures of like runway clothes that like have this kind of vibe to them. So I'm really enjoying drawing these, just these little characters. I put some swords in her eye, which I thought was quite cool actually. I never did that again, but I kind of wish that I did because it was good style. Tried to draw the hair, and I feel like this is another step in the right direction for me. Here we've got like Animal Crossing eyes, I can see here, and like being puppy cat eyes, you know what I mean? There's so many different ways that you can do eyes, and it really changes the entire vibe of the piece. So it's something that I find really difficult to commit to, especially at this point. I wasn't really a fan of doing digital work, even though I did have an iPad. I just couldn't get used to it. I do definitely like it now, and I love that I can change the eyes later on, but this is something I've definitely struggled with back in the start. You can see these are completely at odds with each other, but that's okay. By the way, my sketchbook is 186 pages long. So, for example, I love Picaras. Don't know how to pronounce that. I hope that's right. I love hair sketchbook videos, but they are only 60 pages, I believe. So mine is triple the amount. So yeah, please bear with me. I don't know whether. Let me know if you think in future I should split this into 2 parts, or whether I should just have it as one, because I really don't want to bore people. But then I don't want to like leave people hanging for like the part 2. I don't know if people would care enough to come back for a part 2. So yeah. Here's just me experimenting some more, drawing different types of eyes, different types of gal characters, different types of armour and outfits. I like this armour section here, it's quite cool. Not really fond of the rest of it, but it's okay. Okay, this is Fiona Apple, dressed as a knight, and then some studies. This is Marie Leon, and then this is... Oh, it says raw iron, so it's just a fence that I saw. So props to whoever designed that fence. Thank you. And then this is a study of, I'm not sure if it's pronounced svdpony or if it's meant to be like Sid, but it's like a lowercase or whatever. And then Nana-san, who's really cool. And this is my own. Did not like this either. A running theme. But it, you know, it's really good when I look back at this, because I'm like, wow, I've literally changed so much in 3 months, and that's beautiful. So yeah, good for me, good for little me experimenting. You see as well, like I'm using like a lot of different materials here, because whenever I feel stuck or like badgered in or like confused or whatever, like I resort back to making sure I use like a different colour scheme, a different type of media, and that like resets my brain and makes me feel like good again. Okay, there's me trying to draw this like view with oil pastels, but I really don't like this, but everyone I've shown my sketchbook to has really liked this. You know, it's up to you, dealer's choice. I think that this shouldn't have been brown, and I think it should have been black maybe, and I think the contrast would have helped, but I just think the colours just look a bit naff here. This is just like a little thing about me and my boyfriend going to Brighton. Again, when I used to use it as more of like a journal. We took some pictures in like a little machine booth thing, but we both looked really bad, so I just redrew them. And this is like a really cute tape that I got from Brighton as well. Loved that. Love the worm tape. This is the seagull that we made friends with. We used to feed it every morning, even though people really hate it when you feed seagulls, but we literally just like can't help but feed like every single animal that comes across our path. And we got to see the babies, and it was just really cute. So here's our little seagull. I hope it looks as menacing as it did in real life. But yeah, love this one. Goodbye. I don't know why I keep like writing. At the start of this sketchbook, I never thought that my art was going to improve as much as it would to the point where I'd want to start sharing it with people. Like at this point, I haven't made a post in like over a year on my Instagram. I'm not sharing any of this content at all. This is my first go at gouache. In like UK education system, they teach you to say gouache when it's just gouache, right? And gouache sounds better. So yeah, this is my first go at gouache, which I was actually quite happy with. It's just from a reference on Pinterest. Yeah, I just didn't expect to be sharing any of this. This is like a little mixed media collage that I did with like loads of my little souvenirs and stuff from Brighton, and then just an old Tabatai sticker that I had, and some stickers from Japan that I had lying around. So yeah, got some gouache from Casa. I love Family Store, it's such a good vibe. And yeah, just had a really nice time. I love them little Shin-chan treats that you can get with the blind box card inside. And then this was just like a little character that I drew, which I actually quite liked. I thought it was cute. But then it led to this. And then, so I was drawing these and I was like, wait, this character's so cute. I love this, like, slaying. This is like a pen that I got from Brighton that I do really like. It's a great colour. And then I was like, oh my god, this is literally just Ditto. This is just Ditto. Ditto was sad. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so bad at accidentally plagiarising things. Like, I need you to lock in if you see me plagiarising something and just be like, Rosie, that's not yours. Because, like, I literally promise down to my core that I'm just being an idiot. Like, please tell me if I'm ever doing anything like this. Okay, and this is when I went on my, like, aquarium day. It's so sad, though, because, like, I wish that I went when I had, like, a better grasp of, like, what I want my style to be, how I draw best, like, what kind of composition suits me, like, things like that. I wish that I'd gone at that point, but I didn't. I went at this point, so that's really sad. It's fine. Love stingrays, they're my absolute favourite, and that's probably my favourite spread from the day. Some more fish. It was really cute drawing in the aquarium there. You can, like, I live close to it, so you can pay £20, which is quite a lot for, like, an aquarium ticket, obviously, but then you get to go for the full year, so obviously it's not bad at all. If you live local, it's great. Love these. They are, like, one of my absolute favourites. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Is it a spotted garden eel? Spotted garden eel. Yeah, this is really frustrating because basically on a jellyfish, it's supposed to come out of the centre and go out, not come from the edges. But I was so engrossed in drawing it that, like, I just filled the whole thing in, like, mindlessly. And then I was like, no, it's too late. I've ruined it. But it's okay. I had a great day, and that's what counts. This is quite funny, actually, because I really don't like this in retrospect, and the proportions are terrible, and this is not my style at all, but this really inspired me, drawing this little character. I was like, oh my god, like, I want to make a game, and, like, I started learning loads of pixel art stuff, I started learning how to use Godot, and I was thinking about all these different elements that I'd love to have in a game one day, which I would still like to do, but when I started it, I realised that, like, my skills are so far away from where they need to be, even just with art, that, like, this was just really, like, a monumental thing. And then I think this is the day where I suddenly lost my job with a day's notice. So I had this, like, big tech job for a big evil company, and I was on, like, the cybersecurity team, and then, yeah, with a day's notice, I'd unfortunately lost my job. So things change after here, and I start thinking about a lot of different things, and I get more time to kind of lock in and stuff like that. So yeah, please do now have the privilege, which is not really a privilege, of being unemployed, which has helped me develop my art a bit. But I was already locked in. Don't forget I was locked in. But yeah, so this is me talking to myself and just trying to survive. So I'm just like, you lost your job, and just doing some little doodles, and I'm like, just talking about the different things that I did each day, and then obviously I just fall off the face of the earth and I die. I had this idea for, like, a YouTube video that I was going to do where it was, like, me, like, making my first, like, pixel game, and, like, it's, like, interspersed with, like, the footage of me, like, losing my job, and I'm doing, like, a vlog about, like, what's happened, and, like, all these things, but, like, I never ended up doing it. Like, I made loads of stuff for it, and I got, like, halfway through it, but it just felt like I was trying to do too much at once, and I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to finish my sketchbook, and then I'm going to start my YouTube with a sketchbook tour and go from there. But yeah, from doing this, I looked a lot into, like, different YouTube stuff, and I really love Sewell the Stars sketchbook tour. That was really inspiring to me, and I was comparing it to a lot of different people whose sketchbook tours I've watched, because it's something that I'm really into. But you know what, like, I was thinking, like, oh, like, I was using them as, like, an example of, like, what to me would be successful. And then I realised that, like, looking into it more, like, you don't actually get monetized on YouTube or have the ability to monetize your videos until you've got, like, 1,000 subscribers. And that person, even though they got 11k views on their sketchbook tour, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing, like, I hope I can get that, like, blah blah blah. Like, they didn't hit, like, 1,000 subscribers, unfortunately, so I don't think they would have been able to monetize it. So yeah, I had an idea. So now I've been way more willy-nilly with subscribing to people, because I realised I was just watching a lot of these sketchbook tours. I had already subscribed to Suo, but I was watching a lot of these sketchbook tours and just liking and moving on, and I was like, wow, literally, yeah. So if you would like to subscribe to me and see any more things that I'm doing, then yeah, please keep in mind that it's actually really helpful for creators when people do that. I mean, this is my first ever video. It might literally get like 144 views, and they're all just people who know me personally. So yeah, but I just wanted to say at this point, while I was thinking about it, feel free, and feel free not to. This is a study of mine 404. Love their artwork, it's extremely beautiful and cute, but I had a lot of fun colouring it in, actually. One thing about me is I hate colouring. Like, it just hurts my wrist. I don't like doing it. Like, it annoys me, especially with pencil. So yeah, just doing a little colouring practice. This is a really cool little princess here, but then I was just like, wait, like, how do you draw a horse? Because I didn't use a reference, and this was my horse from memory. It's so bad. It's me just beefing myself. I should do more studies. Yeah, girl, obviously. Damn. I love this page, but I did realise partway through that this was an AI reference, and I was like, no! So I made sure for this page that I found like an actual photographer's work and stuff and used that as a reference. But yeah, devastating. Look at all them fingers. The shadow is also a finger. It makes sense because the armour doesn't line up on both sides, like in retrospect. I feel like it'd be way easier for me to spot it now. But yeah, frustrating, but it's still a really cool set of pages. There was no face in it. I just invented the face on this one. And then, yeah, I kind of like this background texture as well. I'd like to do some more of that. Oh yeah, and at this point as well, I was thinking, I love drawing in ink, but drawing in ink is so inconvenient because I can't bring like a paintbrush out with me, but I do resolve that issue later, so I will update you when that time comes. This is me trying to draw my neighbour's cat that comes to my house all the time, that my neighbour knows comes to my house, is vetted and okay with, and we look after her when my neighbour goes on holiday, so don't want to hear it. She's bestie, it's okay, we're friends. She's an outdoor cat, and she just likes to sleep in my house all the time. And she brings me a lot of joy. Oh yeah, and this is my watering can, super cute. I watched Being Puppy Cat again for the millionth time. I love Being Puppy Cat, and one of the most common like things that I get on my artwork like is like, oh my god, your style reminds me of Being Puppy Cat. And I'm like, thank you so much. It does make me feel a bit insecure though, because I'm like, god, does it look too much like Being Puppy Cat? Because I do really like Being Puppy Cat. So yeah, and then I do some more of these little dogs. I absolutely love these little guard dogs. They're amazing. They're literally amazing. I was like, so cute. I feel like here I just start to get in my groove a bit more. This is a study of Rat Town, and then this is just some ornate stuff that I wanted to practice. I like these little edge bits here, they're cool. And then I was practicing some little anatomy pieces, doing some thumbnails in the background. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting into a groove here. This is another anatomy page. I'm practicing hands, which, yeah, obviously just have to torture yourself. Even though I'm literally just drawing comics, I feel like it's really good to keep torturing yourself all the time and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, because it's so easy to stagnate and be really scared of doing things that you find difficult. And like the only way that you're going to push through these like blocks and stagnations in your skill is by forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do. Like, I know that people say like, oh, like art should be fun, like that, like, you know, if you don't like doing that, then just don't do it. And I completely agree. That is absolutely fine. Like, it depends how you want to approach art, and like you don't have to be the best, you don't have to be like, you know, close to anything that you want to be close to. But like if your goal is that you would like to improve and you would like to get to a place where you're happy with what you're doing, to the level where you can compare it to other artists that you like, and it's not just like, you don't want it to be a hobby. Do you know what I mean? If you really want to improve and push yourself, you don't have to do it every day. Sometimes you can just draw things that you find fun, but like do push yourself, because it is really the only way that you're going to train your brain and train your eye to do the things that you want it to do, and the way that you're going to unlock like that muscle memory. And this is one of them pages where I did like a shape. I did like a kidney bean here, and I did a circle here, and then I just drew these. Obviously anatomy's terrible. It's fine. Don't worry. It's okay. It don't matter. It's cute. It's fun. It's playful. It's another night girl. Obviously, this is really a fixation of mine. And I never got bored of it, which is great. I love drawing armour. It's been so fun. Here are some more armour studies. Some like studies of some like little ornate things. It's really good living in the UK. I don't know if it's like this in other places, but we've got some like good old Victorian buildings with like a lot of this stuff on them. So like when I walk around day to day, I take pictures. Like my swimming baths is a Victorian swimming bath, so like all around like the edge of the building, like inside, there's like all these kinds of patterns and things, which is really inspiring and nice. I feel lucky to be where I am. And this is some gouache lilies. This is me just criticising myself. Hard to paint small, need more shadows, colours are nice but don't contrast enough. Fun, 30 minutes, and that's what counts, fun. But yeah, I think as well, being self-critical is really important. Like, every time I draw something, like, I sit and, I don't hate on myself. I don't sit there and like, why? Like, why can I never live up to my, do you know what I mean? I sit there and I'm like, yeah, this isn't what I want it to be, why? And then I think about why, and then I use that and move forward. And if I don't like the way I've drawn something, I will just draw it over and over and over. And I think that's something that, like, yeah, so I used to focus a lot on trying to get, like, this final piece out of myself and not spend enough time just practicing something foundational before I moved on to this big piece or whatever. So yeah, that's something that I'm trying to work on. These are pretty much all studies except like a few faces up here and this, which is just mine. So yeah, we've got Natasha Allegri in here, Sofia davilla. That's just like a Wi-Fi password. I do not know. Like tuliptown, Nana-san. So yeah, I love doing studies of other people's artwork, but I always try to remember to write them down, even though I wasn't sure if I was ever going to do anything with this sketchbook. And I still hadn't started sharing anything at this point, I don't think. No, I don't think so. Even though I didn't know what I was going to do with this sketchbook, I just did it in case, because I was like, you never know. It's just a doodle page. I was just having fun. I was just being silly. This frog is a good frog there, and it led me to do more frogs of a similar style that were then more developed, and this one here. So I feel like they unlocked something in my brain that I needed to unlock. Okay, this one I went to Todmorden with my family. It's a really cute place in Yorkshire. This is just the view from a cafe that we went to, but I kind of reverted back to that kind of fine art style that I'm really comfortable in again, even though it's not what I want to do. But I did have a really good time drawing this, and I had a really good day. This was on the train home, and this as well was at the cafe. And yeah, I did kind of realise at this point as well is that, like, something that I've always struggled with is thinking, like, oh, like, a bad workman blames his tools. Like, I can't blame my art supplies for, like, why I'm not, like, living up to, like, what I want to do. But then I was actually being really harsh on myself. And once I bought the art supplies that I felt comfortable with, it's actually, like, really, really changed the quality of my artwork and really helped me want to draw, like, improve my drawing, etc. And I'd literally just been holding myself hostage and being like, no, if you're good at it, then you'll be good at it with this stuff. Like, you don't need that. And it's like, damn, like, I literally don't have any colours. Like, I have, like, 3 colours. Like, give me a break. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's something that I let myself do. Okay, so I did, like, a little recon, like, where am I at? So I'm so proud of myself. It doesn't look like much, but this is the best progress I've made creatively since about 8 years ago. I'm actually feeling joy from playing and creating again. I've got loads of painting supplies. I'm excited. I'm going to lock in this weekend. I wanted to find my project and do more exercises and prompts I gave myself. I figured out my colour scheme. No, you didn't. And favourite tools. You've done so good, gal. So I'm always trying to be nice to myself. I regret not taking better materials to the deep, that's the Aquarium, and not using a better palette. Nothing else is a regret, just an idea. So that's me being nice to myself, and this is just like a little stop point, a checkpoint to think about where we're at and what we're doing. I think maybe some people do, but for me, I can't unconsciously get better. Like, I can't just keep doing stuff without any thought or any intention and just improve. Like, I just stagnate and I just do the exact same things over and over and over. So I have to really intentionally do these things. Like, I made, like, a Pinterest board, and it was, like, I think 5 of my favourite illustrators. So we had, like, Nara Yoshimoto in there and stuff like that. But then there was people who are actual, like, artists on social media and stuff, which I'm not going to say because I feel like it's, like, obviously a bit embarrassing. But yeah, I had some artists in there that, like, I really look up to. And I made sure to have some that were, like, professional, like, really famous artists, and some that were, like, social media artists. And then I looked at all the images and I thought about what all the common themes were between the artwork that they make and what about this I like and what I want to incorporate into my artwork. So that's something I had, like, a really big think about, and that really helps me with this too. Okay, terrible. But this is, like, just me messing around with some new pens that I got. So I got the Pentel brush pen, and when I was saying I really wanted to draw with ink, but I didn't have access to, you know, ink all the time, yeah, I just found out the Pentel brush pen is basically just, like, carrying ink and a brush around with you, because that's exactly what the pen feels like. Oh, this is so good. And then these are the Tombow, brush pens as well. So I got some colours here. Yeah, and then I just did some little doodles. This is just me playing with the pens for a while, really. But yeah, I just drew some Wind Waker stuff. Here I said, like, I need a paler pink, I need a grassy light green, a less aqua light blue. I actually will say that all of the blues that I've bought from this company are, like, either, like, a Superman, like, Russian blue, or they're just aqua in different shades of aqua, which is really annoying because that's not the shade of blue that I like. So it's really really dampening my vibes. I don't really like this mint green either, but it is what it is. This sage green is like my favourite out of all of them, and this is me practising faces in different perspectives and stuff. I think by this point as well I'd started sharing some of my art online because I was so proud of how much I'd stuck to it and how far into it I'd gotten, and I just wanted to share people. Here's some practice of some hands in a more cartoonish style, and this is like from Pinterest. I just copied it and had a go at that. I didn't write it down there because I forgot, so sorry. These are some thumbnails, some art that I'd like to do. I was thinking it'd be really cool to do like a girl on a horse, but like cut it out of like wood and then like have it like actually be like, do you know what I mean? And then you can put it on the wall and it's all cut out. Like I thought it'd be cool. I don't have any of the materials or resources to do that, but it's just a nice idea. It's like a castle with like a girl at the front looking up at it, and then just a night girl inside the shape of like oh my god, the shape of a bruh. Moving on. And then this is some pencil brush pen stuff. Oh my god, this is like the first page where I was like, yes, queen, you ate with that brush. I love it. Like, oh my god, this pattern on the jumpy. Like, oh my god, I love it so much. Like, it's so cute. Like, I love a giant ear. Like, it just brought me so much joy. These are like actual references of like real life people as well. And then I feel like I'm finally getting to the point where I can translate them into a cartoon style without them looking too realistic. And I was like, oh my god, like finally we're getting there. So this is like a really exciting page for me. It's my frog page. There are some studies in here. So we've got Tomboiclub, one of my absolute favourites of all time. Again, another fangirl moment. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it when they followed me. This is tokenin. I'm not sure if it's pronounced like that. Unger and Over the Garden Wall. And then the rest of these frogs are all my frogs, and I do really, really like these frogs. And I had so much fun doing this page. This is what I mean when I like got my art supplies that I wanted. I feel like I just immediately locked in and was like, yeah, this is so fun, like this is exactly what I wanted to do. Like I could finally do the things that were stuck inside my brain. So I don't know why I held myself hostage with really bad supplies for months when I could have got them from day one. Yeah, these are just some little studies of some landscapes, like a castle on a hill. Got like a bedroom and some lily pads in a pond in somebody's garden. Obviously these are absolutely illegible. I don't know why I chose to do them like that, but I had fun. Really bad attempt at some anatomy here. That's why I said oh dear. But it's all in good fun. This is kind of like a sexy anime bunny girl page. And then we've got some studies of some really pretty girls that I saw on Pinterest that I was trying to make into more of like a comic book style, more like my style. I don't really think this is my style, but I think it's like closer than it was before. I really like this girl's nose here. I thought that came out quite cool. And then I used the shadow of this to do like kind of like a blank space spread and stuff, which I quite liked actually. I really liked this. I thought this was a cool idea. I like fish themes. And this is like another gal of princess who was really pretty. And then I tried to draw like a chain and I was like, oh my god, this is literally so boring and annoying. I was like, that could be something that I do digitally because this is actually killing me. And then they started getting more cramped and I was just like, you know what, I'm literally sat in a cafe right now waiting like for food and I'm just not going to do this. And I never came back, so I obviously didn't want to do it. Rats holding hands and dancing, obviously. And then, yeah, I wanted to do an Animal Crossing Wild World zine, which I have nearly finished now, so that's good. It's going to be my shop drop when I finally open my shop in a few weeks. I've ordered my stickers, I've done all sorts of things. These are the frogs that I was drawing, and this is like a drawing. This is not a practice drawing of a digital art that I released. This is actually afterwards I doodled it in my sketchbook, so yeah. This was on the train to Leeds, and I was going to the Royal Armouries because we've got this like really cool museum in Leeds, near where I live in Yorkshire, where you can just go look at loads of really cool armour and weapons dating back really far, and yeah, it's free, so I was like, that'd be really good. Yeah, big chin. So yeah, some doodles on this page on the train, and then a doodle on this page too. I think I used a reference of some really old anime, but I incorporated loads of different elements. That's another thing that I found really helpful as well, is like if you've got a reference but you're scared that you're gonna not deviate enough from the reference, then make sure that you've got like you add more references to it. So like if you see one artwork and you're like, oh my god, it's so cool, I want to do something like this, save this reference. Then you open it up and you just keep accidentally drawing something that's like almost identical. Just go find a few more things that deviate from it a little bit and just try and incorporate loads of them elements, and then there's no chance that it's going to end up looking like that person's artwork. So yeah, that's something that I like to do. Yeah, so some studies from the Royal Armouries. Oh my god, they were so cute. They literally had like love hearts on like the helmets and stuff. Like they were actually way more girly than I remember them being. And I was like, wait, this is so cute. This is so cunt. Like, wait, can I even say that on YouTube? Anyway. But yeah, just enjoy some little armour studies. This is my free reign page. I just want to do some doodles of free reign. I started off with like more like realistic to the style of the author drawing, and then I did some little doodles in my own style. I really like this tiny one here. This was me trying to do that, and then I was like, nope, and then I just drew it again, because you have free will and you can just draw it again. So yeah, I did like this one as well. The eyes are quite cool. This was when I started my 30-day sketchbook challenge. I started by trying to draw like a cat in my style, and I think I've got there now, but this is nowhere near, like none of these are anywhere near the style that I want. And I don't have an orange pen, so I use like a highlighter, and I don't really like the colour, so we move. This is like a little oil pastel study, just doing one of like my elf girls. I feel like this is when I started realising that elf girls was something that I am just going to be doing for the rest of my life, probably. I did some studies of my dad's bird photography, because my dad's like a avid twitcher, and he did a lot of beautiful bird portraits on his Instagram and stuff, so this is me drawing them. And yeah, this is the next day. I just wanted to draw loads of different perspectives of like the same character being cute and doing little things. I really do love this colour combination. It's one of my favourites. But yeah, I really liked how this one came out. I think my favourite one is probably this one. I just like the little creepy mouth, and this one's fun as well. Let me know which one your favourite is. It's quite hard to describe in words though, I guess. And yeah, this is crazy though, because I was doing this 30-day sketchbook challenge, and I actually did it. Like I completed it, and that's crazy to me because I've never stuck to anything in my life. I've done like Inktober challenges and it never make it past day 6. Like I've done all sorts of things, but yeah, I actually did it, and I was so proud of myself. I'll speak a bit more about it in a bit anyway. This was a drawing I did on the one side, and I did the other side later on. Normally I do my spreads in one go. But yeah, I really liked this. I was really, really proud of it. I did like a little sketch first, which I don't normally do because I think like line confidence is quite important, and it's a sketchbook, so I'm just like, well, I'm like, oh, it's a sketchbook, so obviously I don't sketch in it. Jesus. Yeah, it's a sketchbook, so obviously I don't sketch in it. But yeah, normally I like to like practice things that like, it's good to practice just going straight into things, I think, because you can work on your lines and stuff. But I started to really appreciate the value of a sketch recently, because it can just save so much time and so much bad anatomy later on and things like that. So yeah, I have started to appreciate a sketch. And then I made this little comic panel, which is like these little acorn spirits and little night girls in the forest with the fire, and then one of them falls on the floor, and then she's like, oh my god, I'm scared, like what's going on? And then it turns out it's just like a cute patootie. It's called like New Friends. I'm not really glad that I wish I didn't draw this background on it, but we move, it's okay. And this was just an exercise because like I just couldn't think of anything. You know where you just draw shapes and then you do line art over them and try and imagine them as something? That's what I did here. I like this one. I like this one. I don't mind the sea slug either, but that's just Puppy Cat. I literally just stole Puppy Cat, I'm sorry. This is me trying to draw cats again, because I got this really cool book from a charity shop called Captivating Cats, but I'm not finding my groove here. Like I'm just not finding my groove. This wasn't part of my 30-day sketchbook challenge, actually. I couldn't record it because I was in a cafe. I was trying to get my boyfriend to record it, and all the footage was really bad, and I hated the page, and I was like, do you know what? I'll just draw something else. And then I drew this, which I was really happy with. I did a thumbnail for this, actually, on my last page here. I did a few thumbnails. I just sneaked into the back because I realised, basically, if I didn't do that, then I would run out of room in my sketchbook before the end of the 30-day challenge, and I really didn't want to go on to my next sketchbook while doing that. So yeah, this is a night girl. I really like the colour scheme, and it was nice to colour it in. Obviously, like I said, I don't really like colouring in, so it's not something that I do very often, but I think it really paid off for this one, and I love these little faces. Oh, I just feel like I'm really, really finding myself at this point, and it's just really nice. Proportionally challenged is what I wrote here because, well, yeah. But yeah, I really love this side. This is something that I've thumbnailed, and then I just don't know what happened on the side. But like the thing is, when you're drawing every day, it's just not going to be perfect, is it? And I posted it anyway. Like there was like, the only reason I didn't post this one is literally just because the footage was so bad. Like I did hit the page, which helps, but like it literally was atrocious. Like it was so terrible. So I just tried to make myself post every single day, even if it was good or bad, and this is just a day that I didn't really like. And then I had a good time with some ink. I saw somebody using ink and then they diluted it with water, and I'm being dead serious when I say that I forgot you could do that. And I was like, oh wait, that's revolutionary. Like you can actually just make it paler by dipping it in water, and I forgot and thought you could only do like line art in one block colour. So yeah, I mean, yeah, speaks a lot to my level of intelligence, doesn't it? But yeah, some other frogs in the style that I like to do. This little weird creature, I don't know what that is, but I like it. Some girls is takoyaki, angel on her phone, and then this like regal kind of like, I don't know if this is a girl or a boy, I don't know, does it matter? who knows? But yeah, I really like this ornate stuff, which is something that I actually really struggle with as well. So that's why I keep practicing it so much, because I'm not good at like ornate things and patterns. I kind of just forget what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and then accidentally like cut something off, like a swell or something, or like don't do it like symmetrical to the other side and stuff. Something that I struggle with. If you watched my 30-day sketchbook challenge, you will know that this was the most aggressive voiceover I did for the full challenge. I basically said I regretted the whole thing, and that I accidentally made fan art for Ireland. And yeah, I really love actually the thumbnail for this painting. Like, I think it's great, and I'd love to revisit it at some point. This is Chihiro, and I don't know what this is, but yeah, I tried to draw it on the left hand side, but obviously I made the eyebrows way too dark on accident, and then because I picked the colour scheme of orange and green because they look great together, and then because I'd done the clovers, even though they're 4-leaf and Ireland's only 3-leaf, I was like, oh my god, this literally just looks like she's called Seamus. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've really just done fan art for Ireland. So yeah, it just really wasn't the vibe that I was trying to go for. I was trying to do some kind of like Aya Takano type thing, but yeah, absolutely not. But this is cute. I started to feel a bit annoyed after this bit, and I was like, I'm putting too much pressure on myself to like do something really intense in my sketchbook challenge. So I just sat down on the floor and I just drew pictures of the trinkets on my shelves, and that was quite a nice reset, and it made me feel good. And I feel like when I've tried to do this in the past, it's so different to how this looks here, if that makes sense. So like I've really changed from earlier on, in my opinion anyway. I stuck this in, and then I was like, why did I do that? And then I had to do this bullseye page, but I actually really like this page. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't think you should do anything with a brand that's not sponsored, so I have many regrets. But I had it for lunch, and then I was like, I don't know, like, I'll just draw something. Like, I think the mascot's so cute, and I really wanted to draw him, and I did have a really good time doing that. And I love the way that I represented food here. It made me really happy. Like, I wanted to know how to draw mushrooms in my style for a while. This kind of, like, thing on the lettuce leaf I was happy with. Like, this kind of ending on it, using the smaller stripes, increasing size as like the gradient. I was really happy with this. Don't like where I just wrote gochujang. It really like takes you out the page, but everything else I was like, ooh, actually, even though it's such a silly page, I do like it. This is the day when I went to the Yorkshire Arboretum and I saw a red squirrel, which was amazing. I actually wasn't that, like, my family and me, we saw this red squirrel straight away. And it was like quite far away, and we didn't see it that well, but we saw it straight away, and we're like, oh my god, red squirrel, that's amazing. They like ran away. And then like we were there for like, I'd say 30 extra minutes, and then a group of people came in, they're like, oh, have you seen one? We was like, yeah, we saw one like earlier, like we hadn't seen one in ages now there. And they were like, oh my god, that's amazing, we come every week, like we're members and we've never seen one. And we were like, oh my god, we're so ungrateful. We're so ungrateful. So like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, red squirrel, I'm so sorry that I didn't appreciate your beauty. And then I drew this in the cafe, and I recorded it just on my phone, like every now and again when I did a stroke. And yeah, I wish this yellow wasn't this yellow, and that I didn't do that, but everything else I'm like, cute. This is a character I made, like an OC called Clover, and she's like a princess, but then this is Twig, and I think that, so my idea is that Twig is actually the princess, but for some reason Clover has to pretend to be the princess, and that like Twig can speak, but then the cat doesn't speak in front of others, and when it's only Clover and Twig, they speak to each other. But like, I don't know whether it's like something like where there was like, my imagination was like, this girl was like a pauper, and she was like wishing on something to become a princess. And then this was her pet cat, and the consciousness, like she got put into the consciousness of this princess, and then the princess got put into the consciousness of a cat, but then I don't know what would happen to the girl's body. There's a lot going on, do you know what I mean? But I love this. It's so cute. I love the staff. Like, I just think it's so good. Like, the little bits. Like, I just love it. Like, can you say that about your own artwork? But I don't know. It's one of my favourite pages. I'm just really proud of it. And I just can't believe that I got here from where I was. Like, do you think of the girls I was drawing, like, earlier on? Like, and stuff. Like, from this here to like this now, I'm just so proud of the amount of development I've had like over this period of time, and like how much I've changed. And then yes, some thumbnails. I really feel like I started finding like my colour scheme here, which I really loved, and I just did a really limited one. I really enjoyed this. Like, I just was really happy with this spread as well. I felt like I was just finally doing something that I wanted to do for a really long time that I wasn't able to express. Yeah. This is just like an organic page because I was like, oh, I actually really enjoy drawing food. I want to get better at drawing organic things like flowers and things like that, because I do like forest themes and things like that. So I was like, I need to lock in and work on that kind of thing. This is like a really messy spread because I did these two pages separately, which I always think leads to disaster. And then, yeah, it's a mess. But do you know what? There are a lot of nice elements if you took them all separate from this page. This is a frog girl I've been working on for a while. I've tried so many iterations of drawing and I'm never happy with it. And then there's just 2 comic panels. This is like the night girl and she's saying Your Highness. I don't know why I feel like they're lesbians, but I'll leave that open to interpretation. And then this is just a girl looking at a frog, but I hate the colours I chose. It made me really mad because I hate this mint colour and I hate this aqua colour, but like I just don't know what to do because I really like this brand of pen, but like I don't know what's similar. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to spend the money to find out because as I said, I am unemployed. This is like a little fan art of Over the Garden Wall because I didn't know what to draw that day, and I was thinking a lot about Over the Garden Wall as it was coming into like autumn, and I was like really excited about it. So this is Over the Garden Wall. I was really proud of that. I as well first time like colouring in pencils, I think, for the whole sketchbook maybe, or maybe till like since like the very beginning. But yeah, I was really happy with this. I thought it was cute. Not Greg's face there. And this is just some girls off Pinterest trying to draw them in my style again. Bit of a flop, but it is what it is. I liked this frog and I liked this little caterpillar down here. That's actually the best caterpillar I've got done. I've not mentioned it, but I've tried to draw a caterpillar a lot of times. Oh wait, you'll definitely have noticed when I did it on that page. But yeah, I kept trying to draw a caterpillar and I think this is the closest to like how I actually want the caterpillar to look in my world. This was me practicing how to do twig facing forwards floating, and then this is me doing biblically accurate twig the next day. So yeah, I was really happy with this. It was fun to just use 2 colours as well. I feel like it gives like a really good effect, and yeah, I just had so much fun drawing it. I gave him like butterfly wings because I thought it was like a nice little feature. And then this is the frog mage that I've been trying to draw. I love him so deeply. Like, I just feel like he could have such a good story. I love this like flat one. I like flattened the stars too to like kind of give the impression of him being really flat. And I love drawing lily pads. Like, that's something that brings me a lot of joy, is just drawing lily pads. And then we've got like the kind of tadpole staff and stuff. Yeah, just I'm not happy with this big drawing as well. So because the edge of the face isn't in the right place, if you notice. So I just draw all over the top of it. This is a page where I blocked out this shape first to begin with, and then I doodled a few bits and then built on it, did extra shapes as I went along. And I'm really happy with the composition of this page. It's really cool. It does feel a bit though, like, do you know when like people like just want to have a cool sketchbook spread? Like, but like, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can tell I was like, this composition's gonna eat. Like, like I wasn't trying to discover something new about myself. I was trying to flex. Like, it's fine, it's okay. This is trying to be something to do with Ponyo, so it's really bad. I love Katamari Damacy. Love Katamari Damacy so much. I love pigeons. I like tigers. I like cats. I like this gnome that's also a pair. Like, it was fun. Like, I just had a good time doing this one, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah. I feel like, yeah, that one I was like, I felt a bit basic, and then I was like, which is such a privilege to be like looking back at how bad not bad, do you know what I mean? But like how different I was at the start to now. Like, I'm like, oh, this is too basic. Like, and it's just like, oh my god, girl, you were terrible 2 months ago, like, wake up. But yeah, so I decided to push myself out of my comfort zone again because I felt a bit stuck because I used graphite. I love this. Every time I post a trial reel of this, it flops so badly. And like, nobody likes this as much as I like this, which is obviously just like one of them really sad facts of doing art, is that sometimes you'll just have one of them pieces where like literally nobody gaffs except you, and this is just one of them pieces. I was so proud of it and I love it so much. Did I say graphite again? It's charcoal. This was the day when I accidentally deleted all of my finalised sticker designs, the day that I was going to send them to the supplier. So this is me dropping my iPad in a fish tank. Yeah, and then the next day, I decided to keep drawing the frog girl, but I was like, I don't want her to be wearing a hat. I want to incorporate elements of frogs into her so that she feels more like a mix between an amphibian and a human. So I tried that in a bajillion different ways on this page. I don't know which ones I like the most, really. I quite like this one and this one. I like the lily pad on her head. But then, like, I quite like this face and this face too, so I don't really know. But I kind of like that one, but it didn't really feel like I really got anywhere with that. I just like the little face, it looks cute. So yeah, that was a fun little exercise. Like I said, if you don't know how to represent something, literally just draw it over and over and over and over and over, and like nobody can stop you, and it's fine. So yeah, that's what I do. And then here, this is literally just fan art for Cat's Eye. I'm sorry, I was just in a hole that day, and it was the second to last day of my sketchbook challenge, but I was really losing steam, so like, I thought I'd be like really motivating to be near the end, but it just wasn't. I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is still going. But yeah, this is obviously Megan. I don't know if it's obvious, I didn't really get their likenesses very well, but yeah, this is Megan, this is Manon, and I tried to do Manon as like a fantasy princess style, and then Megan is some kind of like cool, sexy knight vibe. So yeah, not a massive fan, but it got the job done. And then here are some thumbnails for some paintings I want to do. I like this one, the sideways one. I think I might work on this and develop it into something. And then just a doodle on my final full page. Obviously this is the thumbnail page. And then, yeah, just some pictures of me and my boyfriend from the day we went to the Royal Armouries that I need to like take out of here and put up somewhere. But yeah, loved the little fish on my head. That was fun. Yeah, oh my god, what a journey. Literally, like, it's so, like, different. Like, I feel like there's so, like, from this to, like, now, there's so much, like, consistency, like, in my style and, like, the kind of things that, like, I'm doing. And I think a lot of people, like, because I only started posting later on, and obviously, I like anybody, I cherry-picked the kind of things that I was posting. I think people, like, on my, like, Instagram and threads and stuff, they've kind of thought that, like, I've been doing this kind of thing for, like, a really long time. And, like, I feel like a fraud, like a scammer, because I'm like, no, like, I just clocked on recently. Like, I just logged on recently, guys. Like, I don't know. But I'm just so proud. Like, I'm so proud. Like if anybody wants me to make any videos about anything more specific, like how to find your style, like how to use inspiration, like how to keep your artwork original while using like references, like things like that, like please let me know, because I would love to do some more like kind of like maybe I could draw or like pack up, like if I get orders in my new shop. I'm launching a shop soon, so please check out my other socials if you're interested. I've got some really cool sticker designs that I'm going to launch, and I'm going to do some prints. I've actually got some apparel planned as well, which is exciting, and my Animal Crossing Wild World scene will be there too. So yeah, please let me know if you would like me to make any more videos and yap while I do so. And I'm just so grateful for all the support that I've had so far, like on my Instagram and on threads and stuff. I'm just so proud. Yeah, I'd love to talk as well in more depth about how doing like a series like influenced my Instagram, because I think I have quite a controversial opinion on it, where like I don't think it helped my engagement and other things really did help my engagement. So let me know if you want to know about that. If you don't, then that's fine, and I will come back next time I do a sketchbook. So thank you for following along.